I'm Chris
Yeah.
Morrow, and this is Comic-Con at Home. I'm with the panel Conspiracy Theories and Propaganda Throughout Pop Culture. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
Would you please introduce yourself and tell me where your home is?
Sure. Thanks for having us. I'm JD Lombardi, middle school science teacher and YouTuber for science educational videos at Lombardi Labs. And I'm reporting from North Hollywood, California. Justin?
Oh, me. Hi, I'm Justin Montgomery. I'm a writer for mentalexhaustion.com, and I'm coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland.
Hi, I'm Guadalupe De La O. I'm in Los Angeles, but I'm representing South Central with my students at Luskin Academy.
And I'm GL Lambert, coming live from Glendale, California.
All right. Well, thanks for coming online with me. I appreciate it. And how'd the panel go? What'd you guys talk about? What'd you discover?
I discovered that a lot of people were thirsty for this information. The tweets were going off like crazy. A lot of people following me, commenting on the video, and it was great to see the information being absorbed and talked about online in such a rapid way.
Definitely, and I think just engaging with it, whether people agreed with it or not, I think it was kind of nice to see the other side as well participating and knowing that we're bringing in a large audience.
Yeah, I mean, we knew this was coming for like a few days now, but we noticed the numbers were getting higher and higher, and we're like, wow, there's we're relative nobodies, and there was this huge uptick, and we're, as Gary said, I think we're just a thirst for this information, especially in the COVID sphere that we live in right now. It's been so crazy with conspiracy theories, and it's good to see that there's a genuine interest in it. I think there was a 3-to-1. Gary, what's that? A 3-to-1 ratio on attendance?
Oh, yeah, we went on the same time as 4 other panels, and our numbers were like at 1,000 by the time we ended. Everyone else was in the high hundreds. So it's like, wow, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
What were they most interested in hearing about?
I think the whole COVID stuff, like how conspiracies have taken off during the past 3-4 months, which we were shocked at, right, JD? It was like we couldn't believe that so many new conspiracies have started in the past 4 months.
I mean, in hindsight, it makes sense why you have a lot of bored people at home online. I mean, that's sometimes the most simplest reason is the most probable one. But once we digested that, when we recorded the panel, we're like, oh yeah, this makes total sense. And actually, after we recorded, the whole fireworks conspiracy came out, and there was like 1 or 2 more little things that came out, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's never ending.
Well, I have to ask, the fireworks conspiracy?
Someone else would speak for that. I think one of you noticed it before I did.
No.
I don't know what the
I do not know what the
Was it
fireworks
me?
conspiracy.
Did I
Yeah, I
find
think that was you.
Are you making
We just
up
created a
conspiracies now?
conspiracy about fireworks.
Yeah.
You see how this works?
Fireworks? Where?
He says it online, and everyone believes it now.
For context, people were very upset in LA because fireworks were going on since like Memorial Day through the 4th of July. So,
But as I found out, it was not just LA. It was several major cities. I have family and friends in Philadelphia and New York, and the same thing was happening there. And so the idea was like, oh my God, who's doing this? It's the police. They're pissed at us. And I was like, what? And I think New York Times did a good article on it. It's like, really, it's a bunch of bored people who've been cooped up for too long, and they bought a lot of fireworks, and they're just blowing off steam, literally and figuratively. So I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
Tell me another conspiracy. Share one that's pretty juicy.
Oh, I think Lupe talk about the 5G one. I think that's our juiciest one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, there's that conspiracy that 5G causes coronavirus. And though it's true that we don't know the effects of 5G, I have seen reports saying that if you live close to a cell phone tower, you might get massive headaches and things like that. But it has nothing to do with the virus. So, coincidentally, again, people are home, they're hearing. There was one day especially where T-Mobile kind of shut down for a bit. Everybody's signal got lost. And so that only fueled that conspiracy more, where people were saying, see, it's already happening.
The second wave has started. The second wave.
Yeah.
I've seen conspiracy theories about the masks and how even the wire inside the front of it is a tracking device for 5G. It's getting ridiculous. Each one of them we see every single day. It's like, yeah, COVID in time of fear is just ripe for conspiracy theories, and we're not even at a tipping point. It's going to be more coming after this.
Mm-hmm.
Is conspiracy theory also coined as fake news?
Well,
this
I
day and
think
age?
we talked a little bit about how there's some partial truth in these conspiracy theories. So there might be like nuggets and pockets of truth within them. But if you put it all together, then yes, it could lead to, I would say, more like misconceptions in news. I wouldn't say it's completely fake, but it causes a lot of misconceptions.
My favorite is the microchip one. We all know the vaccine's coming, and the big thing is like, no one take the vaccine because it contains microchips that will track you, and this is how Bill Gates wins, and all your information will be on the internet. I'm like, all your information is already on the internet. And what kind of microchips are going to come through the tip of a needle? Come on. But like, people will swear
we don't leave without our phones. So if any nefarious entity wanted to follow us, we carry this with us. We don't need to actually implant it into our body. So I don't know. It's, Which was important for us to talk about conspiracy and then propaganda, because without the propaganda, the conspiracy dies on the vine. So we need these propaganda tools, people online, on Reddit, on these different forums, just beating the drum about, hey, this is what's happening, and then piling on it.
Do you think because of all these different types of conspiracies that it's going to create more creativity in the younger generation, inspire them when they write books and draw comics? And
yeah,
the top of our panel, we discussed as fans of media and fans of film and comics, it inspired us growing up. And me specifically, when I went to film school, it was all about what's the twist? What's the twist? Who's behind this? And our professors would always make us lay in that second act twist. So now, when you see the whole world has become like a James Bond movie, it can't help but inspire the generation.
Yeah, while researching this, I just thought more about the conspiracies and realized everything we watch has a conspiracy in it. Just a group of people doing something nefarious. So you had even the Fellowship of the Ring and Lord of the Rings is a conspiracy. They're going behind someone's back to enact a plan to destroy something or to hurt someone of some sort. Like conspiracies, like pretty much fuel all the entertainment.
And you talked about the younger generation. As a high school teacher, my students were bringing me all sorts of YouTube conspiracy theories that they were hearing last year. So when I talked about, I made a bigger emphasis on talking about the moon landing because they just didn't believe it, because they heard so many things out there. And I was blown away because it's only been in the last couple of years that I've been hearing my students talk more about, following YouTubers and conspiracy theories. So I do think, and I have a lot of students who love to draw and create their own comics, and it definitely does influence their writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I think about like the Flat Earth Society and when you said the moon and people that always think the different than the other, and we always like good drama, right?
Yeah.
So to have conspiracy in there, it's no wonder why you had 1,000 people, watching your panel. It's good. It's good show, right?
I think just the name alone drew people in and made them. I think we're like number 9. We're like ahead of like The Walking Dead and the Marvel panel.
Yeah,
it's like wow, because people really want to hear about conspiracies.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you have a new calling, huh?
There you go. The conspiracy 4.
Well, we did a similar panel last year where we just focused on propaganda. This is, a full calendar year ago, pre-COVID, pre-all that. And we had a pretty good turnout in person. It was more, I wouldn't say more, it was still education-based, but we had a lot of non-educators and non-librarians show up. They were just interested. But this year, I mean, part of it is just being remote, and it's free and easy to log in. But I think that word conspiracy theory, we added that extra layer. We didn't plan it, right, guys? We're going to kind of do the same thing, but we're like, yo, something's happening. Like this whole conspiracy theory thing is taking off since quarantine, and it is tied into propaganda. And can we tie it into the geeky world of comics and movies? Yeah, because like they said, it's happening all the time in storytelling.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about your panel?
I think one thing I'm really proud about also is just like the diversity factor in our panel. And when I think about my students, I really want them to see people of color that can be nerdy and fun and participate in these kinds of events.
Probably the educational angle on it, I would think most of the thousands of people are just interested on the topic, but towards the last 10 minutes or so where Guadalupe and myself get more into the nitty-gritty of the educational aspect. And you don't have to be a teacher. Like if you're just a parent, if you're responsible for some younger human, there's some good tips and tricks into how to combat misinformation and all that. And also, like we also said in the panel, we don't want to be so like high and mighty and intellectual where all conspiracy theories are false. No, real conspiracy theories have happened. It happens. I mean, the word literally means breathe, the act of breathing together, like conspire. It literally means just breathing together, people coming together doing something. And so we have to be smart at that. We have to discern what could be real and what is not. And usually you need, facts and evidence to back up a theory of any kind. That's it.
Well, thank you guys for your time. I'm Chris Morrow, remotely connecting from home on my boat this year behind the convention center. And
Oh, nice.
we miss you, and we'll be back soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Having us.
Bye. Bye, Stan.
Bye, guys. That was great.
Thank you.
Everyone loves a good conspiracy. I mean, I think I should put conspiracy in all of my YouTube tags.
Right.
Oh, be crazy.